Imagine this. You're out kayaking in the remote waters off the coast of Chile when, without warning, a massive humpback whale surfaces right beneath you. In the blink of an eye, you're swallowed whole, trapped inside its vast mouth. Is it a freak accident? Or is there something more to the story? For 24-year-old Adrián Simancas, this nightmare became his reality. On February 8, 2025, while paddling with his father, Adrián's kayak was caught in the mouth of a colossal humpback whale. In a shocking turn of events, what followed was captured on camera by his father, sending the world into a frenzy.
Swallowed by a whale. 23-year-old Adrián Simancas swallowed and then spit out by a humpback whale while kayaking last weekend.
But how did this happen? Was the whale just feeding? Or did something else lead to this unbelievable encounter? In the next few minutes, we'll dive into the story of this jaw-dropping moment. What caused it? How Adrián survived? And what experts believe really happened when the whale momentarily swallowed him whole. The incident on February 8, 2025, 24-year-old Adrián Simancas and his father, Del, set out for a kayaking adventure in the Strait of Magellan, located near Punta Arenas, Chile. They were paddling in the secluded and picturesque Bahía El Águila, an area known for its wildlife and stunning natural beauty. The water was calm and the surroundings were quiet, offering a serene backdrop for their journey. But this peaceful day on the water quickly turned into a moment that neither of them would ever forget. As they paddled along, the father and son duo had no idea that an unexpected and extraordinary encounter was about to unfold. Out of nowhere, a massive humpback whale, one of the largest creatures on Earth, surfaced beneath Adrián's kayak. In the blink of an eye, the whale's immense mouth engulfed Adrián and his bright yellow kayak, trapping him inside the dark, wet cavern. The sheer size and power of the whale were overwhelming, and Adrián had no time to react. The experience was so fast and shocking that it left him in a state of confusion and fear. Fortunately, Del, who was paddling just a few meters away, had the quick thinking to grab his camera and capture the entire incident. The video, which later went viral, shows the moment the whale briefly engulfed Adrián and then released him a few seconds later, allowing him to resurface safely. The entire ordeal, captured on film, immediately drew widespread attention. People from around the world were shocked and mesmerized by the rare footage of such an extraordinary encounter. As soon as Adrián surfaced, he was able to regain his composure, though he was still shaken by the experience. He later recalled the terrifying moment in an interview, saying, "I thought I was dead. I thought it had eaten me, that it had swallowed me." Adrián's fear was palpable, as the whale's large mouth surrounded him for those brief but incredibly intense seconds. The slimy texture of the whale's mouth and the dark colors of the deep water were all he could sense before the whale released him back into the water. In the video captured by Del, you can hear his voice in the background, calmly reassuring Adrián to stay calm as he paddled toward his son to check on his safety.
Tranquilo, agarra el bote, agárralo, tranquilo, agárralo, 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 no te subas, agárralo. Tranquilo, agárralo.
Del's steady voice and clear instructions were a comforting presence in the midst of what was undoubtedly a frightening moment for both of them. Adrián, although terrified, managed to keep his composure long enough to surface and make his way back to his father. Del's quick thinking and composed response were crucial in ensuring that they both made it out of the situation unscathed. Experts later explained that this event was likely an accident. Humpback whales are filter feeders that primarily consume small fish and krill, using their baleen plates to strain food from the water. The whale's throat is too small to swallow large objects, such as a kayak or a person, and it is believed that the whale accidentally engulfed Adrián and his kayak while feeding. Once the whale realized the mistake, it quickly expelled him, returning him to the water.
Hey! Ya, vente, vente!
Despite the terrifying experience, both Adrián and Del returned to shore unharmed. Adrián, in fact, said he would continue kayaking and wouldn't let the incident scare him away from the sport. His remarkable survival story serves as a reminder of the unpredictable nature of the ocean and the creatures that inhabit it, as well as the resilience and calmness that can help one survive even the most unexpected and terrifying encounters. Scientific explanation. Humpback whales are known as filter feeders, primarily consuming krill and small fish. Their feeding method involves swimming with their mouths open, filtering large amounts of water and trapping small organisms in their baleen plates, which act like a comb to sift out food. However, despite their enormous size, some adults reaching up to 60 feet long, humpback whales have relatively narrow throats, about the size of a human fist. This anatomical feature makes it physically impossible for them to swallow large objects like kayaks, humans, or anything beyond the tiny prey they consume. Experts believe that the encounter between Adrián Simancas and the humpback whale was purely accidental. The whale likely mistook Adrián's kayak for a large school of fish or a group of krill while feeding in the area. As the whale surfaced, its large mouth, which could have been open wide for filtering food, accidentally engulfed Adrián and his kayak. Since humpback whales are not capable of swallowing large objects, once the whale realized its mistake, it expelled Adrián and the kayak within a few seconds. This type of accidental encounter, although extremely rare, has occurred before in the animal kingdom. In 2021, a lobster diver off the coast of Massachusetts found himself briefly inside the mouth of a humpback whale. He estimated that he was in the whale's mouth for about 30 seconds before the whale released him. Much like Adrián's experience, the diver was unharmed, though he too had an overwhelming moment of fear when he realized where he was. These types of encounters highlight the misunderstanding between marine creatures and human activities, often leading to unintentional interactions. Marine experts emphasize that while these events are rare, they are not completely unheard of. Humpback whales are not aggressive and are not known to pose a threat to humans. In fact, they are generally gentle giants, and such accidents can happen when they are feeding in areas that overlap with human recreational activities, like kayaking. Experts stress that these encounters are not malicious, but are rather cases of mistaken identity or confusion due to the whale's feeding behavior. In Adrián's case, it is believed that the whale was simply trying to feed and unknowingly engulfed him, realizing its mistake only after a brief moment. While the encounter may have been an accident caused by the whale's feeding behavior, the aftermath was no less extraordinary. Let's dive into how both Adrián and his father coped with the terrifying experience and what this moment meant for them moving forward. The aftermath, despite the intense and terrifying nature of the experience, both Adrián Simancas and his father Del emerged unharmed from the ordeal. After the whale released Adrián, he quickly surfaced, though shaken by what had just occurred. Adrián later recounted that his initial fear was not just for his life, but also for his father's safety, as he wasn't sure how Del would react to such a dangerous and surreal situation. He recalled feeling a rush of panic, fearing the worst, but was also aware of the cold water, which added to his anxiety about the potential for hypothermia in the frigid waters of the Strait of Magellan. Despite the frightening nature of the incident, Adrián and Del made their way back to shore without any physical injuries. The father-son duo was able to gather themselves and reflect on the bizarre event. Although the encounter left Adrián physically unharmed, emotionally, the experience took a toll on him, and he shared in interviews that the event would be something he would never forget. Both father and son expressed their intentions to continue kayaking, undeterred by the scare.
Yeah, I want to go back.
Sí, claro.
Obviously.
In interviews, Adrián emphasized that while the experience had been terrifying, it wouldn't stop him from pursuing his passion for kayaking. "I'm not scared of going out again," he said, showing his resilience and the adventurous spirit that led him to the water in the first place. Del, too, echoed similar sentiments, stating that despite the frightening moment, they both planned to continue exploring the waters they loved. This attitude of perseverance and calmness in the face of adversity is something that both father and son displayed, even after such an extraordinary and life-changing experience. Similar incidents. The encounter between Adrián Simancas and the humpback whale is not entirely unique. In 2020, 2 women in California experienced a similar situation when a humpback whale surfaced unexpectedly beneath their kayak. Much like Adrián's encounter, the whale briefly engulfed them before quickly releasing them back into the water. The women were unharmed, and their story, like Adrián's, became a viral sensation. While the circumstances of these incidents are extraordinary, they are not the first cases of accidental whale encounters with humans. Such rare occurrences remind us of the unpredictable nature of nature itself. The ocean is a vast and unpredictable environment, where interactions with marine mammals can sometimes lead to unexpected and unforgettable moments. These experiences highlight the importance of caution when kayaking or participating in other water activities in areas frequented by large marine mammals, especially whales. While these creatures are not known to intentionally harm humans, their sheer size and feeding habits can lead to accidental encounters. The idea of being swallowed by a whale may sound like something out of a fairy tale, but this incident serves as a powerful reminder of the unpredictable nature of wildlife encounters. It underscores the unpredictability of the natural world, where even the most serene experiences can suddenly take a dramatic turn. Yet, the stories of those who survive such encounters also speak to the resilience and adventurous spirit that draws people to the wild, no matter the risks. It is this connection to nature, this willingness to explore the unknown, that continues to inspire humans to seek out new adventures, even in the face of the unexpected.